Hi folks, this is Steve. It's air compressor time, and this is a two-stage air compressor, 3 horsepower, 60-gallon industrial type unit that I had purchased through a company out in Oregon called Pacific Air Compressors. They sold it to me. Here's their phone number. And dealt with one of their sales reps. I was searching for a nice unit. I had a Harbor Freight job, and I had I think it was a big box store unit here in my shop, home shop, and I had it tied into my airlines. And I talked to this guy at Pacific Air Compressor for about a year ago. Talked about what I was looking for, what kind of features, things that I do around my home shop, and I looked at a couple other different major brands that were made in the United States, Champion, Quincy, and Sailor Beal, and Sailor Beal became my first choice. Then it was Quincy, and then Champion. But Sailor Beal seemed to be the compressor that had everything that I wanted. It's all American made in St. John's, Michigan, by union workers of this country. But this thing has a unique feature on it that what I was really attracted to is to get the moisture out of the airline after it's being pumped. There's a fan on this thing on the back of this motor, and there's a radiator, which is a cooler. And if you look up high, you see the piping up here that comes out of the pump. It goes down through the radiator, and the fan is turning. It'll cool the air to make this room temperature here. When you touch this pipe when it's running, it's not hot, and it goes into the tank. That's one of the unique features about this company. When they build air compressors, you can get it with this on here. It's a full performance package, they call it. It also comes with the magnetic starter and the low oil control, which a lot of compressor companies do put on, industrial type compressors. And it has an oversized Salzburg. I believe it's a big air filter to muffle the sound of this thing. This thing does run quiet. It does have a electronic auto tank drain on the bottom, which I just hooked up. I just got this thing about a week ago, and here it is right here. I'll give you a close-up of it. And so I just kind of got it jury-rigged with an extension cord right now, just to make sure everything works. This unit comes with a 1-year warranty. I did buy it with a extra gallon of oil that the company does sell, so I can keep the warranty intact. But I'll give you another view of this thing on the side. Here's the after cooler on this thing, and again, it says Sailor Beal, made in the USA on the side of this big pump. This pump probably weighs about 300 pounds, I'm guessing. This whole air compressor, being it's a 60-gallon unit, was close to about 600 pounds. Then here's the cage for the belt guard, and this thing's very substantial. It's solid. And then here's the back side of the unit here with the flywheel and the pump, and then the back side of the radiator that cools the air. So basically what it does, it keeps the moisture from going into the tank. It helps. And I'm down here in Florida near the Gulf of Mexico, and I can tell you this right now, it gets down to about 100 degrees in the summertime with 100% humidity. And so that was one of the features I wanted, being I'm down in Florida. Now if I was in Chicago area, I probably wouldn't need it. And I probably wouldn't have gotten that feature put on it. I probably would have only gotten the low oil control and the electronic moisture separator. But I just wanted to give you guys a look at this unit. And then one of the unique things I wanted to help with the maintenance is an hour meter. And they put on an hour meter for me. It's a quartz unit made in Chicago. Again, there's no plastic on this thing. There's no parts made in China on this thing. It's basically made in the USA. And trust me, I looked at Sailor Beal's website. They have a plant tour video that they did in 2021, and they give you a tour of the plant, and they manufacture all their parts in-house, and or they'll get, whoever does the manufacturing of their motors is made in the United States. It's a Bell-Door motor, and that's made in the United States. That's an American company, and I mean, really, for the amount of money I paid, this is a lifetime compressor for me, and I think it's going to serve the purpose. The other thing I liked about the hour meter, the idea was if I decided I want to sell this unit, God forbid, I could prove, because it's in the paperwork when I bought this unit, that I ordered it with the compressor. I can prove how many hours is on this compressor. That's another thing besides just the maintenance of it, because I recommend changing the oil and torquing down the bolts on the heads every 3 months in their in the owner's manual. So honestly, I'll use this thing probably when I need it. It won't be running every day. I should have bought this thing maybe 20 years ago, but now that I'm semi-retired, I do little projects here in my home garage shop, and I've had, like I said, I've had some Harbor Freight compressors, and I had I think it was a Home Depot or Lowe's compressor. It was a 60-gallon, and that lasted me 2 years. The Harbor Freight I got about a year out of, with very little use on it. It was a rattle trap, and it just basically fell apart. And I had a hard time getting the parts for my Harbor Freight unit. It was I believe it was like a 25-gallon tank, but everything just kind of fell apart on it, and they weren't any help to me trying to get the parts. They just basically said, you should have got a warranty. We could have just got you a different compressor. Well, you know what? I spent, I think, almost $300 on the unit, and from what I heard, people were telling me, they only last a few years. Don't waste your money. So I just said, well, this time I'm just going to go ahead and go big or go home. Well, I didn't go home. I went and bought this thing, and it was about a 10-week wait. Knowing that this is 2022, we're done. We just got through this pandemic, and parts are hard to be manufactured and so on. So I had a little bit of a wait, about 10 weeks, and it was right around the 10-week mark. I ordered it in, I think, the last week of February, and we're in the middle of March or May right now. So but anyways, I just wanted to give you a little demonstration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on so you can hear this thing, so you can hear how it sounds, and you'll be able to see the fan spin here. Okay, it's running. It's at about 130 or 40 pounds right now. About to the point where it does turn on. It'll shut off about 175 pounds. Something that I like about it is I can sit here and watch TV, which I have TV on right now, and my wife can do her thing in the house without her getting a big headache or talking on the phone. So that's what I like about this compressor. It's quiet. So here it is running. It's at about 150 psi. I'm going to let it run until it shuts off. I'm going to keep the video going so you can hear it. You'll be able to hear the head unloader when it shuts off. It'll relieve the pressure on the head, and that comes out of this right here, out of this tube. So I ordered it with a bigger one of these vents to relieve the pressure inside the pump, the cylinder, I believe. It's a little bit oversized. They put them on their standard 707 4-cylinder pumps, but I wanted it on my unit. I was doing a little research on it, and they said it couldn't hurt to do that. So for a little bit of extra money, it was worth it. Okay, it's going to get ready to shut off, and I'll let you hear this thing shut down, and you can hear that right over here. It's out of a centrifugal unloader. And that is basically the Sailor Beetle. Now, if you have any comments or you want to ask me any questions, please leave me some comments. I'd love to hear them. This thing was not cheap. It was, again, it's a 60-gallon model VT 730/60 1 FP, and that stands for full performance package. And they do make this pump in a pressure lube pump, but that's like an extra $1,000, and I just didn't want to spend that kind of money on that because I don't run this thing every day. It's not in a factory. It's not in a body shop. It's basically my home compressor, and it's gonna do me. I think it's gonna do me justice. So again, thank you for your time, and it's a Sailor Beetle, made in St. John's, Michigan, and you can look at their site on YouTube. Just look up Sailor Beetle on YouTube, and you'll see some of the other compressors that they build, and they have some good videos. So I highly recommend this unit, and thank you for your time. Have a great day.